Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. And so, in this video, what I want to really talk to you about is the events that are going on in the game. After 6 months of playing the game, what keeps me hooked? What keeps me around? And what keeps me in terms of developing my account so then I can then participate in my favorite event? So right now, essentially the end game is everything that we have going on when it comes to synchronous events. Aside from 3v3 and Meta Brawl. So that's another event that we really look forward to because it is not open all the time. There are seasons. We have to wait 14 days before it opens up again. If you are a PvP type of person, you really want to see what your compositions can do, and you try to do the best that you can to push into this content. And of course, then we have Meta Brawl. So if you want to keep pushing and you want to test out your teams, you can do that. But really, there is no control there in those modes for me. It's just as it stands right now. It's just you just kind of line up your heroes, you push the button, and you let it go. And you are at the mercy of animations and AI functionality in that case there. So you're just hoping that your idea pans out at the end. Now, when it comes to what we have here, at least in terms of interacting with your league mates, of course, one of them is the Guardian Challenge. But as it stands right now, because of server sizes, there's definitely discrepancy sometimes in terms of leagues, sizes and power. So if you, at least in my case, my league is kind of in that middle range right now, which is there is another league that is a little bit more powerful than us, and we are too powerful for the other leagues. So there's really not too much challenge to see at times, right? Now, we also have the opportunity here soon for the Battle of Gotham. Now, in this one here, there are 8 leagues that will just pop in, and same thing, everything is gonna go into trying to occupy in City Hall as long as you can, and you hold it there. But it's all about a numbers game, right? If you have the numbers, you're gonna do well in this content. All right, but my event, the one that I really like, the one that I look forward to every week, and it is one that I really do. This is the one that I look forward to because it is, in a sense, even though there's only 20 that can participate during that one day, during that round, at least it allows you the opportunity to synchronize with those 20 people and really coordinate together as to exactly how you're going to do everything to not only get the buffs, getting the side towns after you are deploying from your stronghold, right? As you prepare for the core to open up. So you're going to try to get as many of these spots here as you can, right? To try to get those buffs. You're going to get extra penetration. You're going to get extra attack. You're going to get extra HP, extra defense, anything like that. And you kind of coordinate to make sure that you have a good batch of these before the core opens up. And then when the core opens up, that is exactly what we're going for there, because you really have to coordinate with your teammates as to when you're going to launch the jets, right? So, and you also have to time to make sure that you are able to help out during the counter attack, because as soon as 1 or 2 get kicked out, you want to make sure that you have a couple of them already coming in, because everything about Krypton Rush is about holding that core, and you want to sustain it as long as possible. So when it comes to this type of this battle here, which is a little bit more restricted, right? And you really, power does come into play. So it's not very often that you're going to see low power members playing in this game mode. But everything is about making sure that you get the buffs from the tech shield, from the weapons depot here. You want to maintain those if you can to get the power, so you are then able to sustain the core. So this is one of the game modes that I really do like interacting with my league mates in. And I know that the people that are usually playing in this game mode and that can play in this game mode have a little bit of savviness in terms of interacting with the mode, because they know exactly what we have to do, right? In terms of that, where sometimes Guardian Challenge fans a little bit of a free-for-all. And if you have more than 40 people participating, sometimes it's really hard to coordinate, especially if there's a couple of them that just doing their own thing, right? But in this one, I mean, once you are together, those 20 in chat, that you really can coordinate little things like this, and you can really focus on what you want to do to make sure that you maintain the core. Another way that I've been thinking about how a game mode like this could possibly come into play is not to do it really in terms of a PvP format where you're going up against a league. Something like, if you want to kind of keep it comic book centric. Okay, so let's say you have something like PvE. So is your league versus players versus the environment. So you would have something like, let's say the center stage is apocalypse, right? So you could do like an apocalypse type war where you go in as your league. So let's say 30 of you go in with your compositions, with your jets, and you have to then try to go and tackle different, areas of the apocalypse. And if you coordinate well enough where you are taking different positions, right? Maybe you're defeating paragons along the way, and you are conquering all these little hubs that, gives you like a buff, or they unlock a tool, or they somehow rejuvenate your jet a little bit faster, or it allows somehow for your power level to be shared among somebody else that is a little bit weaker. But all you have to then do is try to coordinate to make sure that then you get to the boss. So in here we have the core. So maybe at the end there will be something where you are then fighting the boss, which in this case could be Darkseid. And in that contest then, what you would do then is similar to what we have with the Umbral Rift. It's just as soon as you are able to pick up all those buffs, if you are able to, and whoever is then able to make it in there, you do as much damage as you can. And based on that damage that you do overall, based on how well you did in terms of getting to that endpoint, then you get a certain series of rewards based on how high that damage is. But at least in that case, you actually coordinated. You actually tracked through to try to conquer different areas of the world where in the end you are battling something that, if you're coordinating well together, then you can possibly get good rewards out of it. That's another way that I would see something like this panning out, where you're actually working with your teammates to essentially get to an end goal. And in this case, it could be something like a boss, but you are dictating, right? You are launching your jets. You are putting your compositions together. You are actually dictating as to how you're going to be going and battling that boss. It's not like the Umbral Rift, not really the way that I'm thinking about it, because we know that that particular setup is a little bit different. You're not taking damage. You're just trying to put teams together that do the most damage, and you send it, load it up in the jet, and it goes. This would be a little bit different, because yes, the boss is doing damage to you. So in this case, the boss would have points that you have to go and try to tackle, right? So maybe there is a target on the arms, on the chest, on the head, where you would coordinate your team as to where you're going to have to weaken them and then get the damage out of it. So that's something else that I've been thinking about in terms of what could possibly FunPlus do to expand something like this. But I don't know. You let me know. One, I would really be interested to know, what is your favorite game mode? What keeps you around playing DC Dark Legion? Is it something like Meta Brawl because you are interested in putting PvP compositions together to try to see how you can best the other team? Or do you like interacting with your teammates, putting to strategy together to win something like this? All right, folks, thank you all very much for tuning and watching. I will see you all in the next video, and please do remember to hit like and subscribe on your way out.